folks, welcome and thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Burn After Reading. My name is David Taub, and on today's episode we will be talking to San Jose City Councilman from District 2, Ash Kalra, about Proposition 64. I caught up with Councilman Kalra at a town hall meeting at San Jose State last week. I was able to ask him a couple questions about Proposition 64, and he answered them very directly. The first question I asked was, did he support Proposition 64?
Well, I do support Proposition 64. Look, I worked as a public defender for 11 years. I know what the war on drugs has done to our community, our resources, and most significantly to those that have been caught up in it, and particularly when it comes to marijuana crimes.
My next question for the councilman was why did he support the proposition? And his answer was simple: tax revenue and the hypocrisy behind marijuana prohibitions.
I think we can regulate it. We can regulate it safely, get tax revenue, and that's only a small part of it, but the reality is it's really the hypocrisy. Today, there are going to be approximately 80 people dying from prescription drug use, and yet, marijuana is demonized and has been for over half a century.
Next, Councilman Kalra brought up the fact that marijuana laws disproportionately affect minority communities.
I can't stand for the fact that marijuana will continue to be illegal and young, mostly brown and black kids are going to get locked up for it, some sent to prison for it, and we all pay the price.
The councilman also addressed the worries of some marijuana farmers, as well as small medical marijuana businesses, that are worried that big business will step in if marijuana is legalized and bastardize the thing that we green-friendly Californians hold so near and dear to our heart. He also addressed the clear medical benefits of marijuana.
There's always a risk when something that's of this nature, this large of a cash crop gets legalized, that big industry is going to come in. And so we certainly have to make sure we can protect the growers, make sure that the dispensaries right now that are providing for medical use, what I found out is in Colorado, even though they legalized it, there's still those that go to specifically the medical marijuana dispensaries because they have medically owned. And so we don't want to remove that. We want people, and I have friends that have cancer that they don't want to be knocked out all day taking prescription drugs. They prefer marijuana and it alleviates the pain. We still want that to be provided in a way that it's being distributed and given as treatment, so they have the right people there advising them on how to take it. Not that they're just going to some corner store and buying it and like, well, I don't know, what do I do now?
Right.
We still want to make sure we have the protections in place that provide for the healthcare aspect of it, because there's huge health benefits for cannabis. We just, because of the federal government hypocrisy, haven't been able to study it.
So that was San Jose City Councilman Ash Kalra's take on Proposition 64. Don't forget to vote yes on Prop 64 come November 8th, and also don't forget to vote for Ash Kalra for State Assembly come November. They will be appearing on the same ballot along with the presidential candidates. So thank you very much for tuning in and listening to the first episode of Burn After Reading, and stay tuned for upcoming episodes.